Alexa, turn on gym.
Energy, see I ain't not ready for the wham. Energy's raw, I've never been glam. Energy sure like bars will land, like a missile straight to the plan. Energy's more than everything, man. Energy's mad, don't mess with the ram. Certain things in life.
What is going on, guys? Joey Suggs here. Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the video where I go over every single piece of equipment in my garage gym, because we're finally at that point, the point where I no longer need to go to a commercial gym. I haven't been to a commercial gym in 2.5 months, and it's been pretty awesome. So I'm gonna run you through every single piece of equipment in here, tell you my general thoughts on it, not a review, but just my general thoughts on it, and where I got it from, pricing, whether I would recommend it or not, and give you an idea of where we're at right now in the garage gym and where I plan to go in the future. Hopefully, if you want to do a garage gym or you're just interested in some of the stuff I have in here, you'll get a better idea for it. And before I get into everything, let me just say this. I'm going to have everything linked down below. This is not a sponsored video in any way. Nothing I'm going to talk about is sponsored in this video, but I'll leave the links for you down below. Some of them do have discount codes that will help me out a little bit if you do decide to use them. So I'll leave them there for you, but I want to make sure you get all the information that you came for. So I guess we'll start here and work our way all the way around. So I don't know how important this is to you or not, but I actually enjoy biking outside. So we have two bicycles. I have mine, and then we also have Perry's here. They're in these little vertical stands I got off of Amazon. Highly recommend the vertical stands. This is an electric bike. It's by Hemingway. I bought it on Amazon on sale, and I love it. Like, I absolutely love like going on long bike rides. I can go on the beach. I don't have to pedal super hard, and I can go like miles and miles and miles because it has electricity and it can kind of push me forward a little bit. Is it garage gym? No, but I want to go over literally everything in my garage that has to even do with being active, because this isn't just a garage gym. This is still my garage where I store a lot of things. So it's nice to have that balance, and I'm kind of trying to show how I keep that balance. So one thing would be these stands right here. Being able to store the bikes vertically helps a lot with storage, and they're pretty damn stable too. This bike is like over 100 pounds. And I mean, it wobbles a little bit, but it's definitely not going anywhere. So super nice there. And next to our bicycles, we have this little, I guess it's a, I don't know, multi-level box. To be honest, this isn't mine. It's Perry's. She uses it for like her functional trainer stuff, step ups, box squats, box jumps, stuff like that. So do I use this very much? No, other than how I'm using it right now just to like sit down. By the way, if you see some stuff from Nexo, this is a local brand here in Jacksonville that makes a couple stuff. I have a couple of their things, but they do also sell online too. I'm gonna go ahead and close the garage doors, and that should help a little bit with keeping the lighting even here. I know it's kind of hard to see. Before we move on to this piece right here, I want to talk about, say, this piece, all the lighting in the gym. Super, super simple. So it's a brand called Barilla, I think, on Amazon. Super cheap lights. Yes, you have to wire every single one of them, but you can connect up to 6 at one time. But so here's how I did it. I have a smart plug here that's like Alexa enabled, and then it runs to this one, and then this light runs underneath my Seminole flag, go Knowles, over to this one. This one then runs underneath the dumbbell rack to this one, and then runs up over underneath the Jaguars flags, go Jags, to this one, and this one then runs underneath the flooring to this one. So these are all connected under one. This one over the sauna is connected by itself. I have one in this corner, and then I have one above here for lighting, and they just happen to have a plug up on the ceiling. So that's kind of the lighting setup. I also have my light right here, my Create Change light. I bought this off of Amazon. I think actually Perry got this for me off of Amazon. Really cool light. You can get whatever you want, different fonts, stuff like that. And then this light that you see all the way around is by Govee. And normally their lights come already Alexa enabled. This one I accidentally bought did not have that, so the one I linked will be the smart enabled one. But it allows me to come in here and say, Alexa, turn off gym. and then all the lights turn off. And I can do the same thing when I walk in. Alexa, turn on gym. Okay. And all the lights turn on. Pretty freaking cool, honestly. So that's the lighting setup. Now let's talk about this guy right here. So this is the Dynamic Villa 3-person sauna from Amazon or Costco or Wayfair. They have them like everywhere. But I did a full dedicated video on this thing a while back now. I've had this thing for probably almost a year or so maybe. Has anything changed from that video? No. Do I still think it's a really good machine for the money? Yes. Would I recommend it? Yes, if you're someone who likes infrared saunas. They're definitely different than a traditional sauna. You gotta know the difference and you gotta weigh the pros and cons of both. But if you're someone who has already done that and you know you want an infrared sauna, I definitely would recommend it. Do I think it's a 3-person sauna? No, maybe 2.5. Have I fit 3 grown men in there before? Yes. Was it snug? Yes. So take that as you will, but for just me and Perry, absolutely perfect. Me and her fit totally fine in there. And it's been a really, really nice addition for post-workout recovery. If you want to learn more about this sauna in detail, I'll leave that video linked down below. But one thing that a lot of commercial gyms don't have is a sauna. So I'm actually getting more benefit having this in my house than like I would get if I just kept my gym membership going to a gym that doesn't have a sauna included. Next item is what I'm sitting on right now. This is the Kepi Bench 1000. Bought it off of Amazon. It is definitely just your very standard Amazon level bench. I think it was like $200, something like that, $250 maybe. But there are a couple unique features that I do like specifically about this. One, so you have pop pins and you get a really nice decline here. A lot of benches don't do a decline. And with the decline, you have this little foot pad. So if I wanted to maybe put this up just a little bit, and now I have a good area with my feet locked in to do like crunches or something like that. So I already have one bench in here, but this one specifically I use because it has these little foot plate attachments. Eventually, I'll probably get rid of both of the benches I have in here and get something like super, super nice, like a rep or a rogue bench, something that can do a lot of everything. But for right now, this has been working really well for just this specific movement where I need my legs locked in. Then I use my other bench with my rack for everything else. Now on my sauna, I have a couple of these I just stuck on there. These have some weight bands in them. These are Perry's. I don't actually use them, but they are here and this is where I store them. On this side, more of the same, some towels. Fridge, I think it's very important to have a spare fridge somewhere in your house, especially with how much food I meal prep and everything. So there's not really a whole bunch of stuff in here right now. Some waters, drinks, energy drinks, Dr. Peppers, and then the freezer is pretty barren. We do have some protein pancakes in there, but for the most part, just having an extra fridge is very nice. Now, let's move into something that sadly, I don't think it's gonna stay, and that is my Speediance Gym Monster. So I have a complete review video on this, and I still stand by everything that I said. Do I think it's one of the most unique and best smart home gym devices that you can use if you're in a very tight, confined space? Yes. It is 1, very compact, 2, has a ton of functionality, 3, has a ton of unique smart features, and 4, I think at a pretty dang good price considering what you're getting. But here's my biggest issue with it, is it's not a full gym. And when I have the space like I do in this garage, I wanna build something that's gonna be more like a traditional gym. Can I do all the exercises that I can do everywhere else in here on this one machine? For the most part, yes, and it does it pretty well. But when I have the real thing and I have the space for the real thing, it doesn't make sense for me to still use this other than maybe for like 1 or 2 specific exercises. And I just find myself not using it as much. So I think specifically for the home gym space, there's a lot of things that are created for specific types of people. I think this was created for the specific type of person that wants to work out in like a small spare bedroom, or like in one room you have like a treadmill and this thing. And that's like your entire home gym. And you can definitely get some good gains with that. But for me, I want the space and I want the feel of actual weights. So as I'm using this less and less, it's kind of just been sitting here, and I don't know, I might be getting rid of it soon, making space for some more like plate loaded equipment or something like that. But all around, if you haven't seen my review on this and you're looking for something that will work in a tight space or like a spare bedroom or something, I would definitely recommend checking it out. Now to the left, we have the actual storage area. This is where I'm storing literally everything in my garage, like my actual garage storage, and it's worked pretty well for the most part. Now on to our first cardio equipment machine, and that is this treadmill. So this is a Nordic Track T6.5S. It's not perfect, but I got it for like $300 or something, $250 off of Facebook Marketplace used. And it's been perfect for what I've been using it for, which is just like walking as a warm-up. It's got a 0 through 10 incline, 0 through 10 mile per hour speed. You know, you got your buttons, your heart rate monitor, stuff like that. It's basic, yes, but it definitely just gets the job done, which is kind of all I'm really needing right now. I don't have a dedicated review on this treadmill, maybe something I could do, but a few pros and cons that I found while using it. One pro, the size. It's a pretty compact treadmill, and this does flip up. Say if you needed the extra storage space or if you were in a tight space, something like that. It does have wheels on it to roll it around to be able to more maneuverable. Do I need those features? No, but it does have that. All the quick start functions are really nice. I don't use any like the training modes or anything like that. Here's what I did wish. I did wish that the incline's fine, 0 to 10 degrees incline. I don't really do anything above that. I wish it went to 12 miles an hour because the one time that I did try or want to run on this thing, it doesn't get quite fast enough. And even if it did go up 12 miles an hour, the deck is just too wobbly. Like it doesn't support me very well when I'm just walking. It definitely shakes a little bit. So I can only imagine if I was like sprinting how much heavier that would be and how much wobblier it would be. So if I was gonna upgrade, I would probably look at something like a Nordic Track 2450 or a 1750, one of the commercial ones. I feel like those are a little better built. They're way more expensive than what I spent on this thing, but maybe in the future, if I want to like actually run on the treadmill, I'll start looking into something like that. But for right now, this thing isn't going anywhere. It's a really, really good base starter level treadmill. I think if you were to buy it new, it's like $500 or $600, which is still a really good deal for what you're getting. So this is my treadmill and I have been enjoying it thus far, but we definitely are gonna look for some upgrades in the future. Next, let's get into the very first piece of home gym equipment I ever got, and that is this bicycle right here. So this is the Life Cycle GX magnetic weight driven bicycle. Let me tell you right now, I absolutely love this thing. Let's start one with just adjustability. A pop pin here that moves this rail up and down. We have a slider here that moves the seat rail backwards and forwards. We have a pop pin here to move this rail up and down, and we have a slider here to move this unit forwards and backs. So much flexibility in how you want to set this thing up. And then as you get on it, listen to this. Absolutely no sound because of the magnetic driven belt. The resistance you change right here, and you can tell on the screen that level of resistance changing. I want to say it goes up to like 20, and like I'm pushing really hard right now and nothing's happening. And then you go up to 1 and you're just absolutely flying on this thing. So for most of the time, I keep it around like 10 to 12. Works really well. I got this thing for my iPad, sit that in there. 2 water bottle holders. Like, I have no idea what the price tag on this thing is new. But I will say I got it off of Facebook Marketplace for I think like $400 or something like that. And all I know is I got an amazing deal because my commercial gym had one of these and I absolutely loved it. And so when I saw it pop up, I just snatched it. Another nice thing is it has this guard here. So your wheel is driving back here, but it's never gonna hit anything behind it because of this protector piece. So that is really nice. So an incredible piece nonetheless. I don't use it very often. I love it. I'm definitely not gonna get rid of it. I'm not gonna upgrade it or anything like that. But I just, between this for warming up and this for my actual cardio, doesn't get used all that much. Now on to another absolute steal and probably my favorite piece in this home gym right now, my Stairmaster. So another Facebook Marketplace find, my Stairmaster. I think this is an SM5 or maybe an SM3. Either way, it's definitely a commercial grade Stairmaster. You have your little screen up here with all your buttons, your pause. It's definitely an older model, but it still works 100% fine. One thing I don't love is when it's off, it slowly moves down when you're standing on it. It doesn't lock for some reason, but not a big deal at all. And this thing is my cardio powerhouse. So right now I'm doing my like cutting series, my road to rip series, and I'm on this thing at least like 15 minutes every single day. And I've been loving my time on it. Like, it is a commercial level piece. Bought it off of Facebook Marketplace. I want to say new, they go for like anywhere from like $3 to $5 grand. I bought that for $1,000. That was it. Took it out of a guy's garage. I need to get it cleaned up and get like a service done on it. But for everything that this thing offers, it is probably one of my favorite pieces in here. Stairmaster has always been my #1 favorite cardio machine, and to be able to have one in my garage gym is such a blessing. So very happy I found that. I know there might be some cheaper options out there. I have not tried any like off-brand or non-commercial Stairmaster, so I don't know if they're good or not, but I know that one's really, really good if you can find one for yourself on Facebook Marketplace. All right, let's talk about the centerpiece of my gym, and that is my dumbbell rack and my mirror setup. Let's quickly talk about the mirror. So this is a 8-foot wide by 5-foot tall mirror, and it comes like just underneath the dumbbell rack. It actually lines up perfectly. I had a local company come out and install this mirror. Everything said and done with install and the mirror came out to like $1,000 or $1,100. And trust me, I get $1,000 when you're just getting started for something that you can't even actually use. Not really worth it. But for me, if I'm gonna work out in my gym every single day, I gotta have a good mirror, a big mirror. And it's kind of like a centerpiece, like a focal point of the garage gym. So for me, it was totally worth it. Could I have tried to install it myself? Yes. But it was only an extra $250 to have it installed. They used like a glue and wood backing, made sure everything was super level and neatly aligned. Would highly recommend just getting it installed. I also looked into like a DIY option, going through Home Depot, buying the 2 separate panels, but the panels were $500 themselves for like a 4-foot panel and a 4-foot panel. So I'm already over the price I paid for this. Just didn't make any sense. So there are other options that you can like kind of build your own, but it ended up being more expensive in my case. All right, and then we'll get into the dumbbells. So these dumbbells, well, let me start with the 2 pink dumbbells I bought a long time ago. They are from Nexo as well, the place here locally, and these are Perry's dumbbells. Now, all the rest of these are mine. So they go from your 5 pounds right here all the way through to 100 pounds right here. I'll quickly put up the brand that I bought them from, but anywhere you buy them, they're gonna be exactly the same. These are probably the cheapest dumbbells I could buy. They're dumbbells. I don't think you need to spend a ton of money like on really, really nice dumbbells unless you just have the extra money to spend. But for me, I bought them for 95 cents a pound, which is incredible when you're talking about dumbbells. I did reach out to like my local brand to try and buy them, but they were $1.25 a pound. And when you're talking about 30 cents a pound, when you're buying 2,100 pounds of dumbbells, it adds up quite a lot. So I had to go for like my cheapest option. So I went with that company. I think they're out of North Carolina. And then I paid an extra $200 or something for shipping, $300 for shipping. So all said and done, it was like $2,100 or $2,200. which is a ton of money, don't get me wrong. And I think if you were to do this like the best budget-wise possible, you would just get adjustable dumbbells. I'm really excited, and I still might actually buy the Rep Pepin adjustable dumbbells coming out because they go up to 125 pounds and they look really, really good. So if you're planning on getting dumbbells, maybe you wait for those. I couldn't wait. Like, I had to get dumbbells in my garage gym because I'm working out in here every single day. So I couldn't wait for those to come out, which come out in like August or September or something. So I had to get these. And honestly, I love them. One little quirk. So you can kind of tell here, the grip on these 20s of these Nexo dumbbells are kind of thick, right? Like as a normal dumbbell is. But these, so this is a 22, but the grip is a lot smaller. For some reason, the grips on these black dumbbells are a lot smaller until you get to 50. When you get to 50, then they become normal size and they're good all the way through to 100. Also, you can tell like this is a 20 and this is a 20, but this one is way fatter, taller, thicker than this. And that just means they're using like a less quality, less dense weight in there, which once again goes to why those were so much cheaper than, say, the other ones. But it's a price I was willing to pay to save quite a bit of money up front. So very big rant on the dumbbells. Now onto the dumbbell rack. Sorry, but I don't think you're ever gonna find another one of these. This dumbbell rack was custom made by, not myself, but our company, because we own a structural steel company, we have like a plasma cutter, you know, grinders, welders, things like that. We were able to make the dumbbell rack completely custom. We actually put our company logo in it, and our company colors are black and red, so it fit the theme of the gym very well, and it also is our company colors, and I think it turned out absolutely perfect. All right, now as we come up from the dumbbell rack, you can see behind me, we have this. So I don't want to go into crazy amount of detail on this thing because I have a full dedicated, really what I think was one of the best review videos I've done to date on this machine right here, but it is the RitFit M1 all-in-one universal trainer. Literally, like, this is the reason why I have been able to work out at home, because it gives me the functionality of a functional trainer. So having like a cable machine, 2 individual cable machines, and the ability to have like an actual rack. Those 2 features are by far the biggest ones. The Smith machine, having that is nice as well. And then you have your storage for all your weight plates and everything like that. So in that full dedicated review video, I go over all the pros, cons, what I like, dislike. But the biggest takeaway for me is that, one, for the budget, I don't think there's anything else on the market that's gonna get you started on the right track and give you everything that you need to work out in your house. But given the budget, there's a lot of things that I think need to be or should be improved if it's something that you do actually plan on using every single day. For me personally, I would like it to be a little beefier build, a little taller, and just have a little greater overall feature set. But I said this in the review video, stand by it now. Definitely for the money, it is 100% worth it. If you're thinking about starting a home gym or you need a rack, you might as well get a rack that has everything you need built into it, and then build out your accessory movements from there. I also briefly talked about this bench in the review video, but to go into a little more detail on it, it's a good adjustable bench. It's pretty sturdy, it's easy to move around, it's easy to adjust. Is it the biggest for someone my size? I mean, I'm 6'4", 220 roughly. It's a little small on the back pad for me, still a little wobbly where I think it could be improved, and just the dimensions are just a little small. And that kind of flows into this rack. Like I said, great starter rack, but I do want to get something that's going to be bigger, beefier, taller. I've been looking at a couple different options. There's one from Elite Fitness or something like that that is way bigger, way beefier, and comes with a ton of freaking attachments. Very, very, very expensive. But like I said, if it's something you're gonna be using every day, maybe it's worth it to invest the money. And then I think Force USA just came out with a new piece. They're like C10. That looks like that could be a really good option as well. So I'm doing my research and saving my pennies for whatever piece that I do end up getting. But as a starter functional trainer all-in-one rack, if If you're looking for something, definitely check out the review video on this because it's a really, really good piece. So we talked about the rack, we talked about the bench. Quickly on the weights as well. So for this rack video, RitFit did send me out a bunch of different types of weights for me to try out. I really, really like the rubberized grip weights. But here's what I would say about weights. Just get whatever you can get. Yes, it's nice for them to match and it looks organized, but at the end of the day, don't spend a ton of money on weights. If you can get them for like $1 a pound, that should be your goal. For me, it's been tough to find that. They're normally like $1.50 up to like $2 a pound. But I don't think spending a ton of money on weights is the best way to spend your money. I would rather spend more money on like a really nice piece of equipment than the weight you're gonna be putting on the equipment. Same thing goes for attachments too. So the attachments I got from RitFit are extremely nice and they're budget. You can buy them by themselves. I don't understand why you'd go buy mag grips for like $100 an attachment when you can get I think it's either a 5 or a 7 piece from RitFit for like $170. Incredible savings, and they're exactly the same. So there's some stuff where I just don't understand spending the money on. But there are some instances where it does make sense to spend the money on something that is actually worth it. So that's my spiel on this. Definitely recommend checking out the video on it. Moving on to this piece right here. You've probably seen something like it in a commercial gym because it's from Cybex and they do mostly all commercial stuff. I bought this off of a local reseller here in Jacksonville. It was kind of expensive for a weight rack. It was like $250, $300, but brand new, they're like $700. Is it a little beefier than what I need? Yes, but it is really nice. So I have some weights on here, some little clamps, some band pulleys I use for warming up. And then I have this little pad here that I use for like my ab workouts, things like that. Now this whole corner is probably gonna be cleaned up here shortly, but for the meantime, I have a box full of like some slam balls and stuff that Perry really uses for the most part, and then I have my ab roller over here. Now to the right of that, there's this barbell stand. I needed something besides just this. This has 2 barbell holders on it. Needed something else to hold more stuff. So I picked this up off of Amazon. I think it was like 50 or 60 bucks. I'll have it linked with everything else, but this worked out very, very nice. I might end up moving this over here, or just buying another one and putting it over here so I can store more stuff. But a couple of things in this rack, we have just your normal 7-inch Olympic barbell. This was also from RitFit. We have like the Easy Curl bar. I bought this off of Facebook Marketplace for $50. It is in really not great shape, but it gets a job done, at least for right now. Next, trap bar, deadlift bar, hex bar. One of my favorite exercises. I started doing hex bar deadlifts in high school for like football training and really fell in love with the exercise. Took a lot of time off from not doing it and my gym just not having one. But now that I'm able to buy my own stuff, this one is from the Nexo here locally, and it was like 150 bucks or $200, something like that. Definitely gets a job done and is really, really nice. I like the black powder coat too. To the right of that, I have this T-bar row attachment. This is also came with the RitFit M1. So if you buy one, you're gonna get this as well. Really like this for those movements. A couple more like miscellaneous pieces back here, like this curl bar and another like mag grip style RitFit attachment. And now this right here is the folding bench that comes with the Speedients. So I'll probably sell this with the Speedients so that someone gets a full package. All right, now let's talk about this piece right here. As you can tell, it's kind of crammed in the corner, and that's because it's not being used much. Like, yeah, I can still get in here and do my exercises, but for the most part, it's kind of just been sitting here for a couple reasons. By the way, this is the RitFit BLP01. I also have a full review video on this thing. It is a hack squat. You're able to do some other leg style movements on it, and it's a really, really good piece. One pro that has become a con for me on the machine is it's really smooth, and because of that, you have to stack on the weight to the point where like I'm lugging around a bunch of 45s, and every single plate I have in my gym that I'm storing other places, I have to bring over to this machine every time I want to use it. And so that's kind of difficult. Another pro, but still kind of a con for me, is this is one of the smallest footprint wise leg press hack squats you can get, but it's still pretty big. Like, it takes up a decent amount of room, and to really only be able to do 2 exercises on it, I'm kind of like, I don't know. The Rifit M1 has the Smith machine on it. It doesn't have a leg press attachment for the bar, but I've just been using my feet and it's been working totally fine. It's nice because the weight's already right there on the machine, and I don't have to add a crazy amount of weight to get a really good movement in. So for the most part, this machine's been chilling right here with not a lot of weight on it. Now, I don't think I'm gonna sell this. I think I'm gonna actually bring it to my office because the guys that work out there don't have anything for leg presses. And we do have a Smith machine, but they don't like using it for leg pressing. So I think it will be a really good fit to have it there for them. And then I don't have to get rid of it either, because later on when I do buy some more weights to just store on this thing, it'll be nice to have eventually. Now, leaned up against the leg press is this piece right here. And it is a sissy squat machine from Leiki. And it's just from Amazon. It does fold up really nice, which is good. And I originally bought this machine because it said that it could do a sissy squat, which is what I really, really wanted, but also do a back hyperextension. But unless you're under 4 foot, I don't think you're doing back extensions on this thing. So it's really just a sissy squat machine. And so right now I do have it set up for sissy squats, but here's something I don't really like. So on a normal sissy squat, this bar right here would move back and forth to lock your ankles in. But instead, this one aims to lock your toes in, and you like twist this to tighten, loosen it on your toes. But for whatever reason, that difference in the way that it locks you in kind of hinders how good the movement feels. So I'm probably not gonna keep this thing either. It was kind of expensive for just what it is, but in my opinion, it's kind of been hurting my knees more than it's been helping me get a good quad pump. So I don't think it's gonna stay. All right, now on to the newest piece of equipment in here, and also might not be staying. This is the Spart leg extension leg curl. I bought this off of Amazon. It's very new. It's only been in here like maybe 2 weeks or so. And it definitely does exactly what it describes. It is a leg extension leg curl. So I can kind of click this in and use this for leg extensions. Bring my legs on and then bring this down. There we go. And I can do my leg curls. Now behind me there are 2 boxes. One of them is another brand of leg curl leg extension, and the one in the box is by GWMD or something. But I'm gonna compare this one that I'm sitting right now to this one that I build in a video coming very soon. So definitely get subscribed if you're not already to the channel, because I'm gonna have a comparison video just head to head, seeing which brand off of Amazon makes a better leg curl leg extension machine for you. So a really good piece to have in a home gym. I just don't know which one's gonna be best for me. And that is pretty much it, my entire garage gym. The one thing I didn't talk about is the gym flooring. So I have an entire video of when I installed the gym flooring, and that was an absolute mess. There are much easier, cheaper ways to do it. I bought 25-foot rolls of rubber flooring. It looks really, really good. It just took like 2 or 3 days to install by myself. I didn't have the right tools for cutting it. I didn't glue everything down. Definitely should have just paid someone to do it. So if you're not gonna go like the 4 foot by 6 foot stall mat style for your gym flooring and you wanna do the Fleck roll that looks really pretty, probably worth having someone install it for you. But like I said, I have a full video that lays out that entire process. If you wanna see it, it'll be linked below as well. For right now, the setup that I have has allowed me to cancel my gym membership, not need to go to a commercial gym anymore, and this is everything in it. So just to wrap up, if you're just starting out, what do I recommend that you buy? I recommend you buy a bench, a rack, cables, and adjustable dumbbells. Those 4 things right there will immediately let you cancel your gym membership. For cardio, you just go outside and walk until you save up enough money for a treadmill or a bike or a Stairmaster or something like that. If you can get those 4 things, you will get a 90% of the gym experience at home. Now, things that I think are worth spending money on are highly dependent on your personal preferences, For me, I think it's super important to spend the money on a really good rack and a really good bench. If you can get a really good rack, a really good bench, the rack I mean also with cables, that's what I think you spend your money on. I think you can go cheap on dumbbells, get adjustable dumbbells. I think you go cheap on the weights, get whatever weights you can find. I think you go cheap on bars. I think you go cheap on attachments. And I think the stuff like the lighting and the mirrors and stuff like that, you get to when you get a really good base. So for me, my next steps, what I'm looking forward to doing is one, I want to find a really, really nice standout centerpiece rack cable all in one for the gym. I think I do want to keep something that has a Smith machine because it allows me to do things a little safer when I don't have someone with me, which is most times, and that ability to have that leg press functionality is really nice. So I'm really excited to answer any questions that you have about my garage gym, how I structured it or how I'm structuring it. Leave your questions in the comments down below. I'll make sure I get back to all of you there. But for me, this is my little hobby, my little baby that I've been nurturing and changing around, and it's been a fun process. Definitely some more room to grow for sure, but we're gonna get there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to press the thumbs up button. It does help more than you know. But for this garage gym video, I'll miss you, but I'll see you shortly in the next one with that review coming out on the 2 leg presses or leg curl machines. See ya. Peace.
This the anthem. If you rockin' with it, put your hands up.